Your online privacy is under constant threat, and the browser you choose can either protect you or expose you. With cyber threats evolving every day, it's critical to have the right tool for the job. In today's video, I'll be ranking 13 of the most popular browsers based on their privacy features. No sponsorships, no promotional links, just my honest assessment from real-world interactions with each one. As an expert in the field, I'll give you the insights you need to make an informed decision. Stick around till the end, because I may have saved the best for last. And if you're short on time, feel free to jump ahead using the timestamps. Let's get to it. I'm starting with Mozilla Firefox, the classic choice for anyone looking to break free from the Google-driven browser monopoly. As one of the few browsers not based on Chromium, Firefox offers a unique engine that supports features like uBlock Origin with full functionality, thanks to its continued support for Manifest v2. But let's talk privacy. Out of the box, Firefox comes with decent protection. Enhanced tracking protection blocks third-party cookies, social trackers, and cryptominers. However, its default settings aren't perfect. For example, Google as a default search engine is not exactly a privacy win. Telemetry or data collection is enabled by default in many distributions. This is a turn-off, and Pocket integration may be useful for some, but it introduces potential tracking vectors. But I think there is good news. Firefox is highly customizable. By exploring its about config or using a hardened user.js file from projects like AaronFox, you can transform Firefox into a privacy powerhouse. Features like DNS over HTTPS and container tabs allow you to isolate your browsing activities better than most competitors. Despite these upsides, its privacy shortcomings at default settings keep it just shy of top-tier status. And making these more privacy-centric changes may require some technical know-how. Out of the box, the Firefox browser ranks B-tier as a privacy browser. Safari is up next, and let me start by saying this one is very different in the sense that it is not built off the same Chromium base as many browsers. However, does this make it a privacy browser? Safari automatically blocks third-party cookies, preventing websites from following you across the web. This feature, combined with its intelligent tracking prevention, ensures your browsing behavior is harder to monetize. When you use its private mode, Safari goes a step further by blocking advanced fingerprinting techniques and adding extra link tracking protections. However, the privacy story takes a hit when you factor in Apple's telemetry practices. Safari collects usage data and integrates deeply with iCloud, syncing your browsing activity, bookmarks, and tabs across devices. This syncing is convenient, but it raises privacy concerns since Apple has access to that data. Safari's private browsing mode does a decent job of blocking trackers and ensuring your session remains local to your device. But like most browsers, it's not foolproof. Websites, ISPs, and Apple itself can still access parts of your activity. Safari could have been a C-tier browser thanks to its strong default anti-tracking measures and user-friendly private mode. However, the telemetry tied to iCloud, limited transparency, and subpar fingerprinting protection keep it firmly in the D-tier. Safari is a decent privacy browser for casual users who are already deep in Apple's ecosystem. But for those serious about protecting their data, better options like Brave, Firefox, or Tor are available. So, what is my final verdict? Safari is an almost C but ultimately a D-tier browser. Great for convenience, not for hardcore privacy. Next is the Mullvad Browser, a collaboration between the privacy-focused Mullvad VPN team and the Tor project. It's essentially Firefox, but pre-configured for anonymity and privacy. The browser uses Mullvad's own DNS servers, ensuring strong protection against tracking and DNS leaks. One standout feature is the integration of the Mullvad VPN extension. While it doesn't work out of the box without a Mullvad subscription, it's a fantastic addition for anyone already using their VPN service. Mullvad Browser also switches the default search engine to DuckDuckGo and enables DNS over HTTPS by default, adding yet another layer of security. However, Mullvad Browser doesn't attempt to spoof your operating system in the user agent, which is a controversial but arguably effective choice. It also leaves WebGL enabled, meaning you're less likely to encounter broken websites, but it does slightly increase the browser's fingerprinting surface. With thoughtful default settings and privacy baked in at every level, Mullvad Browser is an excellent choice for anyone serious about protecting their data online. I am torn between the S and the A tiers on this one, and I will honestly have no problems if someone thinks it is S tier, but I will drop it in the A tier. It is most likely an A.5. Let us move on to Chrome. I will go ahead and put Chrome in the D tier and say this is one you must stay clear of as far as privacy is concerned. At its core, Chrome is an extension of Google's business model, data collection. Everything you do on Chrome, from your browsing history to your location, and even your device details, is fair game for Google's massive data mining operation. Sure, you can tweak settings and use it without signing into a Google account, but the defaults are a privacy nightmare. For instance, by default, Chrome collects a unique user ID and device ID. These are like digital fingerprints. Chrome gathers diagnostic data and location information unless you explicitly turn it off. If you sign into Chrome, your data, search history, passwords, and bookmarks syncs directly to Google servers. This sync is convenient, but it comes at the cost of your privacy. But it does not end here. Chrome doesn't ship with robust privacy tools out of the box. Here's what's missing. First, no built-in ad blocker. So, ads and trackers are free to invade your browsing experience unless you install third-party extensions. This is even worse now that Chrome has made a transition to Manifest v3 APIs. Secondly, it has weak tracker blocking. So, by default, Chrome allows tracking scripts, advertising cookies, and even major tracking pixels to run unhindered. And lastly, Chrome offers minimal resistance to fingerprinting techniques. Websites can easily identify your device through your display settings, your graphics card details, and other unique characteristics. I could go on, but I guess you get the gist. So this one remains in the bottom D tier for privacy browsers. Let us move on to Waterfox. It is another popular Firefox fork that aims to cater to privacy-conscious users. It was initially designed for 64-bit systems before Firefox officially supported them, but today, it's marketed as a privacy-first alternative to its parent browser. Out of the box, Waterfox removes telemetry and tracking elements found in vanilla Firefox. It also supports legacy extensions, making it a nostalgic favorite for longtime Firefox users. However, there's a catch. Waterfox is now owned by System1, a company with ties to advertising. While the browser itself maintains decent privacy settings, this ownership raises some eyebrows. Waterfox offers a clean browsing experience and retains much of Firefox's customizability. However, it doesn't go as far as LibreWolf in hardening the browser by default, and the System1 connection is a potential downside for those who prioritize privacy above all else. I will place it in the B tier as a cautious companion. Let's talk about Microsoft Edge, the browser that came pre-installed on your Windows machine and probably opened itself when you didn't ask for it. Spoiler alert, Edge lands firmly in the D, data sieve tier. Here's why. At its core, Edge is Chromium-based, meaning it shares much of its DNA with Google Chrome. But instead of Google's tracking apparatus, Microsoft swaps in its own ecosystem. Think of it as Chrome with a Microsoft skin. If you switch out one data-hungry giant for another, does it really matter? Edge ships with telemetry baked in. By default, it collects required diagnostic data that you cannot opt out of, no matter how hard you dig through the settings. This includes device information, usage data, browsing activity, bookmarks. If you're signed into a Microsoft account, the data haul is even larger. Your browsing habits, sync favorites, and extensions are tied directly to your account. Yes, you can disable some settings, but the required telemetry is non-negotiable. I have noticed that videos where I talk down Microsoft or even Google barely do well on this platform, so let me not go further. I am sure you already get the gist and understand why this privacy nightmare solidly earns a place in the D tier. Next is LibreWolf. This is the browser that takes Firefox and dials the privacy settings up to 11. LibreWolf is essentially a hardened version of Firefox with all the unnecessary fluff stripped away. By default, telemetry is gone, Pocket is nowhere to be found, and uBlock Origin is already installed. LibreWolf also makes smart choices like disabling WebGL, which reduces your browser's attack surface and fingerprintability. The default search engine is switched to DuckDuckGo, a clear privacy win over Google. But there are trade-offs. LibreWolf doesn't use DNS over HTTPS by default, unlike Mullvad Browser or some hardened Firefox setups. However, you can configure this yourself with just a few clicks. Additionally, updates and installations can be cumbersome since LibreWolf isn't available in most package repositories. LibreWolf's commitment to privacy is undeniable. It's an excellent choice for anyone who wants a pre-hardened browser without needing manual configurations of Firefox's about config. LibreWolf is a very solid contender and is an S-class privacy fortress. Opera's reputation has taken a hit in recent years, particularly after being acquired by a Chinese consortium in 2016. It is Chromium-based, so it inherits the speed and compatibility of Chrome, while adding some unique features like built-in VPN, integrated ad blocker, and customization options, a suite of tools for personalizing the browsing experience. Some of these are why I will not place it in the D tier. But does it really do better than a C-tier privacy browser? Well, despite its flashy features, Opera performs poorly when it comes to privacy. On privacytest.org, it scores terribly for fingerprinting resistance, tracking protections, parameter stripping, and do not track signals. These gaps leave you exposed to extensive tracking and profiling across the web. Opera's history isn't spotless. Reports of questionable financial practices on their mobile platforms, such as predatory loan advertisements with exorbitant interest rates, have tarnished its credibility. While unrelated to the desktop browser, this raises broader ethical concerns about the company. Opera easily lands in the C tier, a browser with some redeeming features, but too many privacy red flags to ignore. Brave positions itself as a browser for privacy-conscious users, offering a robust set of tools to protect your data. Unlike most browsers, Brave comes with privacy-enhancing features enabled by default, removing the need for extensive customization. Its signature shields feature sets it apart by blocking ads and trackers, cross-site cookies, fingerprinting, Google AMP redirects, and tracking URLs. These protections are active by default, saving you from needing third-party extensions or manual tweaks. With Brave, you get advanced features for privacy nerds like embedded content blocking, private browsing with Tor, and Brave Search. Brave's independent search engine avoids Google entirely, collecting no personal data or IP addresses. While ad-supported, these ads are privacy-respecting, unlike traditional search engine ads. On privacytest.org, Brave consistently ranks as one of the best browsers for privacy, thanks to script blocking, comprehensive fingerprint resistance, and built-in HTTPS everywhere. Brave's default settings don't block all embedded trackers, such as Facebook logins or Twitter embeds, which can still track you passively. While these can be enabled in the settings, they should arguably be blocked by default for a browser claiming maximum privacy. This is why I believe Brave is not S tier but solidly in the A tier as a trusted privacy ally. Let us move to another Chromium-based browser, Vivaldi. It has a proprietary interface that's all about customization. Unlike many other browsers, Vivaldi lets you tweak almost every aspect of its look and feel. But what privacy features does this browser offer out of the box? At first launch, you can enable tracker and ad blocking, which resists fingerprinting, blocks tracking scripts and pixels, and prevents tracking cookies. If you create a Vivaldi account to sync data across devices, everything is encrypted end-to-end. This means even Vivaldi servers can't access your data. Also, Vivaldi doesn't collect or sell your browsing history or personal information. Their business model is built on search engine partnerships and preloaded bookmarks, not on your data. It's more private than Chrome or Edge, but it doesn't quite hit the same privacy heights as Brave. Vivaldi's privacy features are robust, but they're not industry-leading. Its proprietary interface and lack of tracking parameter stripping hold it back from the A or S tier. That said, it's a fantastic choice for those who want a versatile, privacy-respecting browser with unmatched customization options. It earns a spot in the B tier. Floorp is a fork of Firefox Extended Support release, which is renowned for its stability and security. Unlike the rapid release versions of Firefox, ESR is designed with businesses and privacy enthusiasts in mind, offering fewer updates but with rock-solid reliability. This foundation gives Floorp a head start in terms of secure browsing. From the moment you install Floorp, it takes privacy seriously. Floorp blocks trackers right out of the box, ensuring that both website trackers and browser-level telemetry are kept at bay. This means you don't need to tinker with settings or install additional extensions to start browsing privately. Floorp's entire codebase is open source and available on GitHub. This transparency allows the community to audit its privacy claims, ensuring there are no hidden surprises. It also offers extensive privacy customization, allowing you to enable or disable features like WebRTC, which could potentially leak your IP address. You also get Chrome spoofing. This prevents websites from identifying you as a Firefox-based browser, which can reduce targeted tracking and improve compatibility with certain websites. This is a relatively new browser, but it is a very strong privacy option. I would like to see how it evolves over the next few years, but for now I will recommend it and give it a spot in the A tier as a trusted privacy ally. Let's move on to Tor Browser. When it comes to online privacy, the Tor browser stands in a league of its own. Tor, short for the Onion Router, uses a multi-layered approach to encryption, akin to peeling layers of an onion. The entry node is the first server in the Tor network. It knows your IP address, but doesn't know where your traffic is ultimately going. In the middle nodes, the traffic is passed through one or more relays that don't know your identity or destination. And lastly, the exit node or final server decrypts the last layer and connects you to the website without knowing where the request originated. This setup ensures no single server ever has the full picture, making it nearly impossible to trace your online activities back to you. This browser ensures no tracking, no fingerprinting, session isolation, and automatic cookie management. Tor even goes further by providing access to the dark web via .onion sites. These are domains that can only be accessed within the Tor network. While these sites often carry a dubious reputation, they also serve as havens for free speech in countries with oppressive regimes. For the experts and the curious, Tor's advanced settings allow you to fine-tune your experience. Settings like Tor bridges will bypass restrictions in countries where Tor is blocked, keeping access open even under heavy censorship. You also have custom circuit management. With this setting, Tor allows you to manually create circuits through specific countries, adding more control over routing paths. The browser also offers sandboxing, isolating processes to limit potential malware or exploits, providing another layer of protection. Of course, there are several trade-offs, and speed is one that stands out. But as far as privacy is concerned, not many browsers come close. And Tor Browser earns itself a spot in the S tier as a privacy fortress. Finally, we have Epic Privacy Browser. It is a solid choice for basic privacy, but it has some drawbacks. It is based on Chromium and blocks cookies and tracking by default, which is great for privacy. However, its default settings aren't much better than Chrome's, raising concerns for more privacy-focused users. Epic includes an encrypted VPN, which is really just a proxy that hides your IP but doesn't fully protect your location, so it's not as secure as Tor. It also lets you adjust privacy settings on a per-site basis, blocking things like geolocation and JavaScript, which is handy. However, there's a catch. Epic is not open source, so we don't know exactly what's happening behind the scenes. It sends some data back to its developers, which is a privacy concern for the more paranoid. Its pro mode for downloading videos also doesn't work well on major sites like YouTube, making it unreliable. Because of these factors, Epic fits into the B tier or the cautious companion tier. It's good for basic privacy, but not the top choice for those seeking the highest level of security and transparency. And that's a wrap. If you're asking for my top privacy browser recommendations, it's hard to beat LibreWolf or Tor Browser. Both of these stand out as top choices. You really can't go wrong with either. If I missed any browsers that you think deserve an S-tier ranking, let me know in the comments. Also, I'd love to hear your thoughts on the list as a whole. Until the next video, stay safe, stay secure, and keep your browsing private.